In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Those words are more than just the start of a book. They're the foundation of our existence. As we step into 2025, a world filled with opportunities, challenges, and complexities, the ancient truths of Genesis 1-3 offer us clarity and direction. They reveal God's blueprint for humanity, a design that's as relevant today as it was at the dawn of creation. God's first act was to bring order out of chaos. From darkness, he spoke light. From formlessness, he created structure. And from emptiness, he brought life. Genesis 1 is a picture of intentionality. It shows us that God is not random or distant. He is purposeful. Each act of creation builds on the next, culminating in humanity, made in his image. What does it mean to be made in God's image in 2025? It means we are reflections of his character. We are designed to create, to love, and to lead. Think about it. Every innovation, every act of kindness, every effort to build community. These are echoes of God's creative power within us. Yet, in a world dominated by technology and rapid change, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. We measure worth by likes, shares, or financial success. But Genesis reminds us that our value is inherent. Every human being is a masterpiece, made in the likeness of the Creator. The creation story also reminds us of our shared humanity. Male and female, all people are equally bearers of God's image. In 2025, this truth calls us to unity, to break down barriers of race, gender, and nationality. It challenges us to see every person as sacred, to treat them with dignity and respect. Imagine a world where we lived this out, where the decisions we made, whether in government, business, or personal relationships, reflected this divine blueprint. As we move into Genesis 2, we see another layer of God's plan unfold. God places humanity in a garden, a space of abundance and beauty, and gives a clear command: work it and take care of it. This was humanity's first job, not just to enjoy creation but to steward it. Stewardship is at the heart of God's blueprint. In 2025, stewardship has taken on new dimensions. Climate change, environmental degradation, and resource scarcity are no longer abstract issues. They're realities we face daily. God's command to work and take care of creation challenges us to act. It's a call to sustainable living, to make choices that honor the earth and ensure it thrives for future generations. But stewardship isn't just about the environment, it's about relationships, communities, and the resources entrusted to us. How are we managing our time, our talents, our influence? God's blueprint is clear. We are caretakers, not owners, of all we've been given. And yet, as we turn to Genesis 3, we see humanity's first deviation from the plan. The serpent enters the scene, sowing doubt and twisting truth. Adam and Eve's decision to eat from the tree wasn't just about disobedience, it was about trust. They chose to define good and evil on their terms rather than relying on God's wisdom. That choice brought brokenness into the world: shame, pain, and separation. Doesn't that resonate with our world today? In 2025, the temptation to go our own way is stronger than ever. We see it in the pursuit of power, in the way we prioritize self-interest over the common good, and in how easily we justify harmful choices. Like Adam and Eve, we often think we know better than God. And like them, we face the consequences of that: pride-broken relationships, fractured communities, and a world crying out for restoration. But here's the beauty of Genesis 3. Even in humanity's rebellion, God doesn't walk away. He seeks out Adam and Eve, clothing their shame and initiating a plan for redemption. That same grace is available to us in 2025. No matter how far we stray, God's blueprint includes a path back to Him. He's always working to restore what's been broken, to bring life where there's been death. So what does God's blueprint look like for humanity in 2025? It begins with our identity. We are image bearers, created to reflect His love, creativity, and justice. This truth challenges us to live with purpose and to see others through God's eyes. It includes our mission. We are called to steward the earth and to care for one another. In a world full of division and need, This means taking responsibility not just for our actions, but for the well-being of those around us. It means asking, how can I contribute to God's plan today? And finally, it offers hope. Genesis reminds us that even when we fall short, God's grace is bigger. In 2025, as we navigate uncertainty and change, we can trust that He is still in control, working all things for good. The story of Genesis 1 to 3 isn't just ancient history, it's a living blueprint for today. It calls us to align our lives with God's design, to embrace His purpose, and to walk in His grace. This year, let's rediscover what it means to be part of His plan, to live out the dignity and mission He's given us, and to trust in His promise of restoration. God's blueprint for humanity is timeless, and it's waiting for us to step into it. On the first 3 days, God forms the structure of the world, separating light from darkness, creating the sky, and shaping the land and seas. Then, He fills these spaces during the next 3 days, populating the sky with celestial bodies, the waters with sea creatures, and the land with animals and humans. The pinnacle of creation is humanity, made in God's image. Genesis 1 verse 27 says, "So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God He created them. Male and female He created them." This emphasizes human dignity, purpose, and our unique role as stewards of creation. Genesis 2 zooms in on the creation of humans, offering a more detailed perspective. God forms Adam from the dust and breathes life into him. Then, He places Adam in the Garden of Eden, a place of beauty and provision, giving him the task to work and care for it. Yet, God declares that it is not good for Adam to be alone. So, He creates Eve from Adam's rib, establishing the first human relationship and highlighting the importance of companionship. Genesis 2 beautifully depicts God's intention for humanity, harmony with Him, with each other, and with creation. But this peace is short-lived. Genesis 3 introduces a tragic turning point. The serpent, representing deception and sin, tempts Eve to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the one tree God commanded them not to touch. Adam follows suit, and this act of disobedience marks the entry of sin into the world. Immediately, their eyes are opened, and shame enters the picture. They hide from God, signaling a broken relationship with their Creator. God confronts them, and though He issues judgments, there is also a glimmer of hope. In Genesis 3 verse 15, often called the Proto-Evangelium, God promises that the offspring of the woman will crush the serpent's head. This is the first hint of redemption, pointing to Jesus Christ. Genesis 1 to 3 reveals several key themes: God's power and creativity in creation, humanity's purpose and value, the devastating consequences of sin, and God's plan for redemption. These chapters remind us of God's intention for a perfect relationship with us and the lengths He goes to restore that relationship through Jesus. It's a story of beginnings, but also one of hope. Thanks for joining me in this journey through Genesis 1 to 3. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Bible studies and reflections. See you next time.
And God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 6th day.